I do not have a lot to say, but the enemy of the working people, the landowners and capitalists, say that the workers and peasants cannot live without them. But that is the wrong speech, not for this time, but for another time. Here's my real speech, the correct one for you guys. I came here today not to convince you to rise up against your landlords, but I'm here today to give you a brief little spiel about how my years went at RTCS and how I see my future. But the thing is, I cannot see my future, and nobody can see the future except for God. But I can tell you about my past. RTCS for me is a place where I met my best friends, where I learned to believe, and where I learned to work. When I came to RTCS, I was not a Christian, and I was not who I was today. I came as a lost child, a sheep shoved in the cattle pens of the public schooling system. I had no friends coming into RTCS, yet when I came out a Christian and met my two best friends who changed me forever. And I also met teachers who actually cared. I met an eccentric literature teacher who speaks in Middle English poetry in his sleep. And I met who shall be unnamed for now. And I also met a superhero-loving history teacher, but I also met my future. From being pushed by all my teachers, I was taught that I could write, and that writing was my talent. And using that God-given talent of writing, I wrote for the newspaper throughout all of high school. I wrote countless history papers, and I wrote more things than I can count on my own fingers. And when I go to Geneva, and not Grove City, I'll do more. You can guess I will be doing more writing there. And once I graduate, I'll be doing more writing in the profession that God's put me in. But right now, I'm looking at the legal field. And I hope that God puts me in that profession because I can't wait to do more writing. But that drive to work came from my father. He taught me to aspire for more and not do the bare minimum. And I learned that through retail, something I didn't want to do. Working in a pet store, frankly, was crummy. I do not recommend working a retail job to anyone, but I can recommend parents making a child work when they can and work a job they hate. If they hate these jobs, then they will aspire for work and aspire for something they actually love. There will always be people that work these terrible retail jobs, but there will not always be talented young men and women to take the better jobs and who will go the extra mile. And that is what my father taught me. Go the extra mile. If it's not for yourself or for your family, then do it for God. Though I would be remiss if I did not mention my mother, who was always there for me and who's still there for me right now. She is my greatest advocate here. In my highs and lows, she raised me up to the best of her ability. She taught me to love myself, love others, and to love God. And most recently, she taught me to love my heritage, my Jewish heritage. And with all of that, I will hand it over to my next classmate and fellow graduate.